Welcome to today's webinar. We're excited to share our survey with you and include your organization's perspective on HR and benefits and people in general with the grocery industry, within the grocery industry. But first, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Steve Cyboran. I'm an actuary and the CEO of Humaculture. We're here to share how this survey can help regional grocers like you tackle today's business challenges related to one of the largest single expense items and significant operational components, the people.
Hey there, I'm Marc Jones. I'm former CEO of Homeland Acquisition Corp. Incorporated, based in Oklahoma with about 80 stores in multiple states. I've worked with Humaculture for a while, and specifically on this survey, using some of my experiences to hopefully make it a more practical and useful tool than some of the surveys that I've experienced as a CEO in the past.
Hey, Sam, you want to go next?
And hello, I'm Sam Martin, former CEO at Great Atlantic and Pacific Tea Company, former COO of Wild Oats based in Denver, Colorado, and former chairman board for Mother's Market and Kitchen based in California. I am also here to lend my expertise to the topics at hand and this amazing survey that helps us understand ourselves and how we interact in the business world today.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. And I'm Wes Rogers. I've been working with Steve for right at 10 years now to help develop the whole humaculture concept. And would like to say that Paula will not be able to join today, but she's been instrumental in adding her perspectives to the survey process here from a CHRO perspective. And a little bit about Humaculture. We've been formally in business as Humaculture since October of 2019. We work with all sorts of organizations of all sizes, including grocery. And much of our work has been with large employers, hospital systems, doctoral granting universities, and health plans. We provide a wide range of services related to business strategy, actuarial work, total rewards, compensation, and benefits.
So thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or comments, please use the Q&A rather than the chat so we are better able to see them. We know your time is valuable, so let's get started.
Y'all don't need me to tell you how complicated our industry and our business is and how tight the margins are, but you can see on this slide, we've just thrown up some of the challenges that grocery is facing. And again, you don't need me to tell you that we're probably in a more competitive, quickly changing environment than we've ever been before. And that is the genesis of this survey, to try to grab some real-time information and share it in a very practical and usable way.
And I would say that while definitely these are challenges for today, many of the challenges from yesterday are still continuing and will be addressed as well.
Sure.
So we believe it's important to understand what really works. The latest fads may benefit consultants and service providers more than sustain effective organizations. Our survey targets regional and national specialty grocers, identifying how HR practices and total rewards influences retention, productivity, and cost management. We would like grocery companies to be in a better position to tackle issues like tariffs, inflation, and labor shortages, offering data-driven solutions to support them.
Steve mentions data, and I think that's an important thing to linger on, as opposed to God or maybe the way that we've always done things. And that's what I appreciate about this survey, is its process of gathering data. If you were to ask me, boy, when did you ever use HR data to make decisions in the business? I would say, boy, a whole bunch of different times. But if I think of one particular example, it was when we looked at HAC, we looked at employee healthcare coverage data, and we discovered that a large driver of our healthcare cost wasn't our employees, but rather their spouses. So we dove a little deeper, and we found out that a large portion of our employee spouses actually had additional healthcare coverage options available to them, often at a pretty low incremental cost. So we discontinued that coverage. We reinvested the funds we spent on spousal coverage into higher wages. That allowed us to keep on attracting talented employees. We also added preventative healthcare programs such as wellness and disease management programs that, in addition to the cost cutting, help slow the growth of our healthcare costs. So in fact, what ended up happening was we managed our expenses so well that a few years later, we actually reintroduced a modified version of spousal healthcare coverage. And to me, that's just one example of using data, and actually in that example too, looking to what some other retailers were doing and using those ideas to then see if we could kind of spend our limited funds in a more practical, impactful way.
Sam, do you have anything to add there, or?
Yeah, I would also just add that data is really people as well, because when you look at the data, you have to realize you're actually looking at real people, real experiences, and real outcomes that aren't always as positive as you'd like them to be. And this is a way to take a look at the data and understand exactly what's going to happen for these people as you go forward. And as was just mentioned, it's important to realize that some of these data points can indeed make a big difference on your bottom line.
Excellent. I agree. All right. So at Humaculture, we like to create thriving cultures. We like to cultivate organizations to grow people, where people excel and thus enable the business to excel. Our survey, shaped by Marc's strategic leadership, Sam's strategic and operational know-how, and Paula's HR expertise. With this, we aim to understand how the total rewards philosophy, which influences the various reward aspects of your total rewards program, impacts key outcomes. We selected 4 key aspects of the total rewards philosophy, looking at employee mindset. Is that entitlement versus empowerment? Reward spend, is it more of a focus of the expense versus an investment? Looking at the importance of the job performance, and also looking at the workforce and their adaptability to change. And then we also want to look at the effectiveness of your current practices in a very comprehensive way around what you're doing to pay people, how you're training and developing your people, what you're doing from workplace policies and culture. How are you focusing your spend on health and wellness and PTO, as well as financial well-being? We want to try to uncover really what drives success. And so what we're looking at is all of these on a 5-point Likert scale around effectiveness over what you did over the last year. And then we want to draw correlations to how that's impacting attraction and retaining the right talent, reducing absences, boosting productivity, ensuring you've got a reliable workforce, and how are you managing labor costs overall. So we designed this survey to gather input on effectiveness over the past, correlate it to outcomes, so that we can be in a better position to see how what might be most effective in driving the issues that you're facing today. And our goal is to really help provide you the insights that you need to be more competitive and resilient in this marketplace and in the future.
I think to put a finer point on what Steve's saying is, what we're talking about is change management. And we all experience pushback within our organizations when suggesting new practices. And heck, for some of you on the call, you are the ones that are actually pushing back in a very responsible way. And so whether it's someone suggesting a new approach to screening new hires or scheduling, or deciding how you allocate a limited budget to pay and benefits, our hope is that the information provided by this survey, to Steve's point, will give you visibility into what other organizations are doing, but also what's effective. And then that will help you make better decisions within your own organization, as well as hopefully spark some ideas and new opportunities for you too.
Yeah, I would only say that focusing some time to take this survey is focusing some time on aspects and issues that we don't generally take a lot of time to look at. And it's important to occasionally, at least, to take a look at these important factors and spend some time understanding our own organization, as well as then looking, as Marc mentioned, how is the most effective best practices put in place around the industry.
Yeah, great point.
Oops. So we designed our survey to be very concise, with only 42 questions, and including 4 open-ended. to be able to complete within 25 to 30 minutes, yet provide us a treasure trove of information with the way we design the questions to be able to correlate and provide great insight. The survey is anonymized, and one of the things we're hearing from people that have been completing the survey so far is there's concern as a private company putting out some of the financial metrics that we want. And it's important to know that we designed this survey to not ask for any specific money or any specific numbers. We just want to know your perception of how you're doing relative to whoever you consider your peers, to hopefully alleviate any of the concerns about disclosing confidential information. But that information is going to be critical. Those outcome metrics are going to be critical for us to really do the correlation analysis that's going to help us identify what's more effective. So the survey is comprehensive. It covers all the HR compensation and benefits practices we showed on the prior page, plus the outcome metrics that I think will really help us do a good analysis of data. The survey will also be actionable because we're linking practices to outcomes like turnover. It should provide some really good insights if we get adequate participation. And we've designed it to be very user-friendly using SurveyMonkey for ease, and it should be a very easy, streamlined approach to enter your responses.
Yeah, so we've worked really hard to make this survey especially helpful and relevant, but we also know from our past work with other companies and other custom survey work we've done that it's important for participants to feel like they're receiving something of value to compensate for their efforts in really completing the survey. So we definitely, we're excited that this thing is going to be, we think, one of the most useful surveys you will complete. At least that's our belief. And for those who are interested, we're happy to prepare a report that is customized a bit for the participant requesting it, and we'll meet with you to go over your results compared to the total group's results. I think that's some really good things you'll get out of it. For the industry, I think that it'll be helpful in taking a look, as we've said throughout this process or throughout this webinar, that we're really trying to find what works and what will really help strengthen the grocery industry.
So we need your voice to shape the future of grocery HR. Please take 25 to 30-minute survey, share it with your teams, share it with your peers at other organizations, and contact me or anyone on our team with any questions. We've got our contact information on here, and we'd be happy to share it, to provide this document to you if that's easier as well.
I'm sorry, Steve, but I just wanted to add in, from my point of view anyways, this is a small investment of time, and you could approach it as a simple ROI equation of small investment of time and big return on getting increased productivity and performance from one of your largest expense lines. I'd probably position it a little different to Sam's point earlier. I'd say this is the line of your expenses that is also tied to all the people in your organization. And the more that we can be effective and the more that we can energize them and spend the money in the right ways, that lets them really realize kind of everything that they could do to support our customers and our business. Boy, that's a great step towards making the labor and the teams that you have even more effective and becoming even more of a true point of difference for your organization.
Sure.
And I would also just add that this is a simple structure for you to follow, if nothing else, to understand your own organization better than you do today, and to give us some opportunity to share with you what can be done over and above where you're at today. And it's a small investment of time, as been mentioned, but it's also an important aspect of how you operate your business today.
Great. So let's open it up for some from Q&A. Let's see. Here's a question. Can I just forward the email I received if I would like to ask a colleague to also complete the survey. And yes, definitely share it with anyone within your organization, or if you have peers. And if you are interested in looking at a peer cut, like if you have some peers that you work closely with, that you share a lot of similar characteristics and you meet on a regular basis, we'd be more than happy to develop a cut of your similar grocery stores and see how that compares to the broader survey responses. Another question, will you have a replay of this webinar available? How can I send it to someone if they are interested in viewing the webinar? Yes, we hope to, within the next day or so, have the webinar posted to our website, to YouTube, and to Rumble. And that should, and we'll also release it via email to all those that were attending, if you'd like to get access to it. And again, feel free to contact me directly if you don't get it. Thanks. With that, we'd like to thank you for your time and look forward to your participation in the survey.
Absolutely. Thanks so much.